Hello everyone and welcome to this week's episode of the Studs Up podcast. I'm Garfield. I'm joined as always by Simon Says. This week we're going to be doing a preview round of the week that comes in the English Premier League. God, we've missed you during the international break. Does anyone give a damn about international football anymore, do you think, Simon Says?
I mean, they do in South America.
They do in South America.
They kill over that stuff, don't they?
True, yeah.
So,
I was going to give you the short answer, which was no. But you are right. They definitely care in certain parts of the world. But
They don't care in North America.
no, they do not.
I don't think they know what's even happening.
They barely even
They
care
don't
in
know what's
Europe
going
anymore.
on.
Yeah. Honduras, where's that?
Is it Belize?
Yeah.
Do they speak English there? Actually, yes.
Yes,
That is
they
the
do.
one that speaks English.
Yes, weirdly enough. Anyway, we got a bit off track there, but thank God the international round is over. Hey, by the way, if you ever want to get in contact with us, you can go onto our Facebook page, just Studs Up, type it in, it comes straight up, or you can visit our website, studsup-football.com. Simon Says, let's go through the round of the English Premier League.
Okay, so let's do tipperoos here.
Yeah, so normally what we do is we read out the games, then we'll tip, and then we'll match up and see how stupid we are.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting because this is a pretty tough round. Okay, without further ado, Manchester United, Arsenal. I've gone for 2-1 to the United.
So did I.
Oh, no way.
Oh, nice.
Don't be doing this.
You've made me really happy. I was sure that you were going to go Arsenal.
Palace City.
I've gone 2-0 to Manchester City.
I've gone 1-3 to City.
I can definitely see that.
Southampton, Liverpool.
I've gone 2-1 to Liverpool.
As have I.
Oh, there you go.
Oh. Okay, Watford, Leicester.
I've gone 2-1 to Leicester.
I've gone 1-0 to the Foxes.
Okay. All right.
Everton, Swansea.
I've gone 2-0 to the Toffees.
I've gone 3-0 to the Toffs.
Ooh, okay. Very confident. I like it.
Sunderland, Hull.
I've gone 1-0 to the Black Cats.
I've gone 2-0.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I clearly still like them more than you.
Well, okay. Yeah, I'm happy to concede that much.
Stoke, Bournemouth.
2-1 to Stoke.
This is getting weird.
Have we done this again?
2-1 to Stoke.
What the hell?
Can we just we'll do it afterwards. Tottenham, West Ham United.
3-1 to Spurs.
Close. 2-1 to Spurs.
Okay. This is ladies and gentlemen, we do not look at each other's scores
really
before we
don't.
tip this.
Middlesbrough, Chelsea.
2-0 to Chelsea.
Oh, okay. 3-1 to Chelsea for me.
Okay. I was actually going to tip 3-1, then I thought, no, I'll be a little bit more conservative, weirdly enough.
WBA, Burnley.
1-1.
So you did tip a draw.
I went a draw. 1-1.
2-0 to the West Brom.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. So that's our tips.
We actually, when we do these tips, it's blind.
Completely blind
He
from
does
each
his
other.
tips. I do mine completely separately. We do them literally just before we go on air.
Yep.
We do that so that this doesn't happen.
Yes, and now it's happening
It
again.
happens all the time.
We agreed with almost every result. That's ridiculous.
It's so weird. When you know someone for that long, I guess, unfortunately, you start to think the
my
same.
ideas start to rub off on you. I understand.
Yeah, your awful ideas. But you will not get me to hate Sunderland. Your disdain for that city, those poor people, it will never rub off on me, ever.
Well, fair enough.
Vote for me.
In what?
Whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
Harvey, do you agree?
Harvey always agrees.
Harvey agrees.
Yeah. You could have been running for the US presidential election.
I could be.
Yeah, you could have.
I could be.
Vote for me. I tip badly at football. It's great.
I know. Speaking of tips, did you tip that?
Oh, what? Donald Trump?
The Trump victory?
We were talking about this.
We were, yes.
As much as I don't like it, I did tip it to a few people that he would get up.
Very good.
Yeah.
Look, I got to say, I didn't tip it, but I'm not entirely dissatisfied with the results, so... That's pretty much the story of our EPL tipping every week. I'm not always right. In fact, I'm practically never right.
Yeah, but...
However, I'm not looking at the table. How could I be upset?
No, you can't be upset.
I couldn't be. So
are you saying that Trump's top of the table and you're like, yeah, okay,
yeah,
fair enough.
exactly. I totally get it.
Fair enough.
I totally get it.
As long as you're happy.
Exactly.
Well, let's go through. We should touch on the one game that we disagreed with before we go to the 9 that we agreed on.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
West Brom, Burnley.
Yeah.
I totally get your tip. I totally get it because I I have to say, if there's a team that I've actually went through my tips so far to see, take steed of where I'm going wrong each week. And my two biggest issues are, and I'll tell you so far that I've been overestimating Man United and underestimating Burnley every week.
Yeah.
So those are two that I get wrong very consistently.
Yep.
So I've probably done it again today, at least with Burnley. Well, maybe both. I don't know.
God, I hope not both. Please don't be both.
But I totally get it. West Brom can run a little hot and cold, but their Premier League form on the whole has been very good.
Yeah.
Burnley.
So is Burnley. They're doing ridiculously well.
Yeah. Burnley, though, I feel is a turf more bully. I think they're really good at turf more.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Away from home, I just don't see the same.
Well, the reason I kind of tipped the draw there is because
you don't know anything?
Well, yeah, correct. I don't know anything. West Brom will
you thought we were tipping cricket, so...
Don't even start on that.
Let's not do that one.
Gee.
No.
That is an hour podcast. I can just sit here just advantageous. That's the worst shot I've ever seen.
I know.
What's wrong with you? How are you an Australian batsman in the middle order? Why are we talking about this? Anyway, let's not even start it. Yeah. Anyway, no.
Hit a nerve, folks. Hit a nerve.
Hit a big nerve there. WBA will do what WBA do well, and that's pull us them. He'll shut up shop at home. He'll look for the scrappy win. I think Burnley will then take the lead, and WBA will have to come into their shell a little bit and nick a 1-1.
Gee, that's a in-depth preview.
I'm just giving story of the game.
I mean, have you got Marty's sports almanac somewhere hidden back there?
Yeah, I do. And it's wrong every week.
Oh, damn. It was a lie?
Yeah.
Since when have the movies ever lied to me? You just shattered my world.
Never. Yeah. Terminator is totally coming true.
I don't know. I could see Paulus and WBA pulling off a 2-0 win because I think they've got more talent than I know I give them credit for.
Yeah.
Some of the results have been pretty phenomenal. What I will say is that they've looked maybe fallible under intense pressure for a whole match.
Yeah.
There are some teams that really did know how to break them. But
well, I think in terms of two styled teams in the Premier League, you can't get much closer than Burnley and WBA.
Oh, 100%.
Both war of attrition, hardened dogs of war teams.
And I mean, I quite like Burnley as a side, and I think as a team, they're probably a really good one.
Yeah.
One of the better, cohesive units out there.
Absolutely.
But I think WBA's just got enough game breakers.
Yeah.
Phillips.
Chadley,
yeah.
Rondon,
yeah. I think there's just enough in there to make this tip it in their favour.
Yeah,
I think maybe.
Then you look at Burnley's team and you say, who are their game breakers? Vokes?
Don't know, but they get the results, don't they?
They do, yeah, and it doesn't really matter. I mean,
against
Defoe
teams
plays
you wouldn't
well.
expect.
Yeah. So, no, I think a draw on that one. That's where my head's at.
I think Paulus is going to get one
He's
back
going to
from
pull us them.
Merseyside, even though they're nowhere near
They're
Merseyside.
nowhere near Merseyside. The Midlands?
No, just because, Liverpool and Everton have both lost to them.
True.
So this is my way of getting revenge.
Okay. The only Midlands team left in the...
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah, there you
that'll
go.
do.
Yeah, for Midlands pride. Midlands pride.
I will take that.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, well,
enough.
We should move on to the game of the round then. Let's talk about Manchester United versus Arsenal. Yeah. I am, frankly, a little bit stunned and now really worried that you tipped Manchester United
I've actually put the mocker on them.
Yeah, you've jinxed me.
Have I picked a Man United game yet? I mean, maybe two matches so
Swansea
far?
you got.
Okay, so I got that. Look, I think there's maybe two matches, maybe three at best that I've picked this year out of 11 for them.
Because I think you went the draw as well with Leicester, so you didn't even pick that one.
Because I genuinely feel like United are better than they're showing.
Yeah, of course they are on paper.
So sue me.
Yeah.
This is why I keep getting it wrong. I keep getting it wrong.
Yeah. Well, okay, here's my
I just think they're coming out of their shell.
They better. I've got two big thoughts on this game that I think could be persuasive in the argument.
I'm here to be persuaded.
Okay.
You know what? Persuade me. Pitch me.
Okay. Arsene Wenger has never beaten Jose Mourinho. Ever. And Mourinho needs to keep that record intact.
I'm listening.
He needs to keep that intact. And he knows, of all the managers in the Premier League, he knows how to beat Arsenal. So a big tick there for him.
I thought you were going to say he knows how to get under his skin.
Oh, definitely.
But yeah.
All the comments about him being a voyeur and a specialist in failure.
That was one of the best ever.
A great zinger.
One of the best ever.
Yeah. Such a good zinger. And the other reason I think this is going to be a fascinating game, particularly from United's point of view, is there's no Ibra. He's suspended. Mm-hmm. Please start Rashford. Please start
that's what I'm suspecting.
Well, you have to, right?
I'm suspecting he's going, Rashford in the middle, Martial. I think he'll
Yep.
go with Martial.
Yeah,
Kind
I
of fight
agree.
fire with fire a little bit.
Yep.
And, I mean, I hate to say it, but I think he's going to go with Rooney. You know I'm right.
That is me having a brain aneurysm. Sadly, I think he's going to pick Rooney.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm actually apprehensive about tipping us for a win.
I'm actually a little bit the opposite. I think in a game like this, Rooney might actually have something to give. I think he's going to hound.
I agree, like
he's
a bad touch. And
oh, wow. But I think he can hound people like Ozil into submission, but I think he can hound those guys a bit more. You know that defensive wide player role you were talking about?
Yeah.
I think he's got that in him in a game against Arsenal, and I think someone who knows how to win against Arsenal is Rooney. He's got a lot of victories against them.
True.
Knows
Scored
how to
a few
do
goals
it.
against him in his time.
Personally, if it was my choice, I would probably go with Matter instead of him.
Absolutely.
For actual creativity.
Yeah.
And someone who can properly set up Rashford without getting in his way.
Absolutely.
I mean, really, personally, I'd go with Mkhitaryan, but anyway, we know that's not going to happen.
Let's not even bring that up.
That's not going to happen.
That's like Australian cricket team levels of anger for me.
You know, he's not even going to have him on the bench. He's not even going to let him sit at his own home. He's going to ask that he goes somewhere else.
Yeah.
Stay in a hotel.
Live in a hotel.
France.
Yeah. Just go. Yeah.
You can't even be here. That's what he's going to do to him.
Just annoys me so much.
Yeah, and
anyway.
I get it.
But you know what? We shouldn't really discount Arsenal here because they are one of, if not the form team at the moment in the Premier League.
Oh, yeah.
Ozil's firing. Sanchez,
Aren't they the form team? I mean, has anyone got a better record in the last 6 or 7 games?
No, pretty much no one.
I don't think so.
No.
Maybe Liverpool's close, but that's it.
Yeah, no, they're the other form team. I mean, Ozil's on fire. It will depend on whether Sanchez is fit or not.
Yeah, he's so important to them.
He's going to be very important.
Because he could really throw the cat among... The thing about Arsenal, I think...
is that they try and walk it into the net, yeah.
They do definitely try and walk it in. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know if they'll be able to score a goal if they don't walk it in because De Gea is so good.
Yeah.
He stops everything else.
Yeah. You know what? One day, by the way, I'm going to go back through all these podcasts.
Yes.
And
how many times?
No, yeah, how many times? Because you always open up with the thing about Arsenal, and I just want to go back and track how many times you've said it. I'm pretty sure it's at least 8.
That's fine. I'll go for 9.
Okay, fair enough. Okay.
The thing about Arsenal...
No, I do take your point. I mean, they've got good pace. I mean...
Yeah. They can drag that defense around, you know?
As much as I don't necessarily rate Walcott.
Likewise.
He's in good form. I mean, no one can deny that. He's pacey. He can cause you problems. Iwobi's a very good player. He's young. He's learning.
Smalling, Bailey.
I'm so happy that Welbeck's not playing because I know that he would have just come back and punished us and I would have hated it.
Yeah.
And I mean, they've, that team, that Arsenal team now is
Giroud can create some menace.
Particularly off the bench if he doesn't start. I mean, Cazorla pulling the strings.
It's a good side.
Xhaka, if he's not suspended, which he probably is. But yeah, it's a solid team. I mean,
something he probably shouldn't have been, but anyway, that's another story.
I agree. But no, it's hard to actually... my head finds it very hard to look past Arsenal. But my heart is just screaming at me that it has to be United.
I'm the other way around. I like Arsenal. I don't like United, but I still tipped United honestly because I think it's going to be big games where they're going to step up.
Well, if they're going to do it, if Mourinho ever needed this fixture, this is the fixture he needed at Old Trafford to to prove to the fans and say, "I still got this. It's all good."
It's Arsenal.
Yeah, like come on, guys. It's Arsenal.
Nemesis of the last 20 years.
Yeah.
So. I mean, outside of the Liverpool derby, I think this is the one that they covered the most.
Yeah, covered
even more so than the City game.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a rivalry. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone's got more rivalries than United because the Premier League's biggest
winners
bastards.
for so long. Yeah, well, winners for so long. Yeah.
Everyone shoots for the winners, right? And they're easily the most successful team of the last 20 years.
Yeah.
So. Outside of that, it's got to be Arsenal. They covered this game. Mourinho in particular, he's just ruined Arsene Wenger on too many occasions.
So many occasions.
And now he can do it at United.
Yeah.
Pick up where Fergie left off.
Yeah, that's right. And this is where I think if he's ever going to just say, just show the United fans and go, you know what, guys? I know it's been a bit rocky, but I got this.
Yeah,
I'll do Wenger in. Mind you, if he can't beat Arsenal at Old Trafford,
there's a problem.
I start worrying in a huge way. Even without Ibra in that team, I start worrying.
Yeah.
Even though Gary Neville said that Ibra and Rooney wouldn't make his 11 at the moment for United.
Well, I understand why.
Yeah, so do I.
What? Rooney wouldn't make your 150. Forget your 11.
No, I know. Yeah, he wouldn't even make my under 12s.
He wouldn't make your Sunderland team.
Well,
And you don't care what happens to them.
no, I think he actually would make my Sunderland team.
Wow. Well, that's just messed up.
Yeah, I don't know whether I'm being
Sunderland
mean
fans
to
right in.
Sunderland or if I'm being nice. I don't know.
Wow. You're just digging
I
it
think
right.
I was trying to be nice to Sunderland.
No, I don't think you were. I think
I wouldn't shackle them with his wage bill.
I think you are ambling for a scholarship to the John Terry Academy. I think that's what I can have a chat to.
High
if
levels
you
of
like.
bastardry. Yeah, that's what I'm going for.
It is epic level bastardry.
Yeah.
So
All
I
right.
just think I think United can get this one. So we agreed on the score as well as the result, which is
weird.
a little creepy.
Yeah.
But I think that's probably about right.
Yeah. All right. Let's move to another game on the list.
Palace City.
Well,
Well, Palace can't win anything, so I was fairly comfortable tipping a 1-3 game,
Yeah.
especially against a City side who are just rampant.
damn you, Pardew.
Yeah.
We backed you in.
Yeah.
We said that you were going to be great.
talked
You
you up.
finally got your team.
Yep.
You've got
You
a
looked
pretty
good
good
early.
side. Yep. You got Kabay. You've got Benteke. You've got Zaha.
Townsend.
Yeah, Townsend. You got Punchy on in the form of his life.
Dunn.
Yeah, it's a good-looking team.
A good side.
No.
Mandalana, whatever the...
Yeah,
the
Mandela.
Anyway,
Yeah,
the keeper.
the French keeper. He's
very
great.
good.
Yeah, he's really good.
I'm just trying to work out what's going on here. Why does it not make sense anymore?
I
Why
think-
can this not happen for them? What is wrong? Is it a mentality?
Well, okay, this is...
What is it?
Well, I've been reading a lot about that. A lot of people write a lot, actually, like an inordinate amount about Alan Pardew. And they
That article you
basically...
sent me was great.
Wasn't it great? And they basically just say, hey, you know what? When the sun is shining, he's amazing. When it's not, he ain't so good. And he doesn't know how to steer the ship, turn
I
the
want
ship.
to defend him.
So do I, so
but how?
badly. I don't
how?
know. He's got to pull something out of the bag.
This isn't going to be the match, though. And I'm not going to... I'll be honest, I'm not going to sit here judging his entire season on a game
No,
against
nor
a
should we.
rampant City side who's probably going to win the league.
Yeah, exactly.
This isn't the
That's
time,
not fair.
the place.
No, that's not
Yes,
fair.
it's at Selhurst Park, but that doesn't
Yeah.
matter. They could be playing at the King's School Massey Field, which, for those who don't
There's
know,
a
is a
reference.
really awful place.
Yeah.
Must have sprained an ankle 100 times with
Yeah.
that divoted, rabbit-infested hellhole.
That is such an obscure reference that even people that we know who listen to this won't understand. That is
Come on,
so
guys,
obscure.
Massey.
So obscure. No, I can't see them turning around in this one.
No, it's not gonna
City are in great form.
They could bring prison shanks to the game, and it still wouldn't help them beat City.
Here's the one thing that Crystal Palace can do. We've always talked about it with City. Like, block the game out for 70 minutes and then hope that
Yeah.
Benteke...
Because it can be done.
Yeah.
They've actually
You know
got
what?
the perfect setup to do
they
it.
have the perfect team to do it. They're big. They have good crosses of the ball, which is basically City's weakness.
Yep.
They could do it.
But
Do
I
I
t-
think they'll do it? Not a chance.
The best hope they have is to play a game like they played against Liverpool, in which they still
Yeah.
got hammered.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, they'll
Yeah.
score 2 scrappy, fortunate goals,
Yeah.
but
and still
cop 5.
Yeah, exactly. And still concede 5 and
It's
just go,
nuts. It's nuts. This
So,
isn't the game, so I'm going to
no.
defer judgment.
Yeah, fair enough. We will defend Pardew another time.
I'll tell you what, just for the record, Sportsbet has them at $6.50 to win. You must be a moron to take a $6.50 bet. It would have to be $650 to 1.
Yeah.
And then, I'll put $10 on that.
Yeah, sure.
Miracles happen.
Yeah, sure.
$10 is worth the chance of a
the
miracle.
chance of 650 to 1.
But I got to tell you, Sportsbet usually is spot on, but that is
that's
way
obscene.
off base.
Yeah, that's-
I mean, I get you probably were really stung after the whole Leicester winning
Yeah.
the league thing happened.
Yeah.
But this ain't happening. So.
Nah, that ain't going to happen.
You can
Anyway,
give
so
better
let's
odds.
move on.
Yeah. Southampton, Liverpool. At
Interesting
St Mary's.
game.
Oh, yeah, very interesting, and it worries me. Because I have to completely change my damn fantasy team because it's full of Liverpool and
That's what you're worried about?
Yeah, well, we talk about the issues here on Studs Up. So the big issues.
Clearly. The issues in Simon Says
The
Live.
issues that matter.
My fantasy team's going to be screwed.
Like the Massey Field at Kings and my fantasy team. It's just my personal little program now,
Yeah,
isn't it?
fair enough, yeah. Anything else you'd like to talk about?
I'm really worried about it.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Redmond, Austin.
Okay.
I mean, that whole side.
Yeah.
Tadic, when he plays well. He's
When
had
he-
a bit of an up and down season.
He's always been a bit hot and
he runs hot and cold.
Yeah.
Ward-Prowse. I mean, that team is good.
Yeah, it's a good team.
Strong back line, strong defense.
We'll press.
Which is, I had to give them a goal because I know they're going to score one.
Yeah, it's against Liverpool. They're going to get a goal.
Yeah. And they're at home.
Yeah.
But Liverpool's firepower, it's impossible to ignore.
No, I agree.
How do you ignore that strike force?
No, you can't.
Most potent in the league.
Coutinho was just amazing for Brazil. If he
know.
brings even half that form back.
Well, he's had that form for weeks now.
No, but what I'm saying, after the international break, they're normally tired after flights. If he can bring half of that Brazil form back,
I don't think he'll start.
still blow them away.
I don't think he'll start.
Okay.
I think he'll bring him on late. Or if he starts him, he'll only play half a game. I don't think he'll risk him. No disrespect to Southampton, who are awesome.
Yeah.
I just think Klopp fancies his chances with the team he's got, because now that they've got Wijnaldum back, he can reshuffle, he can rejig the pack a little bit.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, Mane will start, obviously, so...
Yep, Mane will definitely start.
Firmino he should.
Start.
Well, he should.
But he may go totally different, I think. I think he may even go for Sturridge.
Well, he could, but that's risky against Southampton. I
don't
mean,
know. He could easily go Lallana, Mane, and Sturridge as your front three.
Yeah.
Very easily.
With Wijnaldum dropping back a little bit.
Exactly. You got Wijnaldum, Henderson, and Can marshalling that three in the middle.
Yeah.
You got Milner left back.
That still just makes me giggle. Sorry.
Best left back in the league.
Just ridiculous. Anyway.
That's an Aspilicueta, who we said was world class.
Yes. Yeah.
That's got to hurt a little bit. And I think that Lovren's back this week, so it'll be back to the standard two of Matip, Lovren, and of course Klein.
Yeah.
So that's a really solid Liverpool side. Doesn't matter if we've lost.
Yeah, it's not as aggressive as your normal team, but it's still good.
Bring them on after, with 20 minutes to go if we're not winning.
If they're struggling. Yeah, no, fair enough. I can only see a Liverpool win there. I would love to be surprised, but...
No, I wouldn't.
I know you wouldn't.
I wouldn't like that at all.
No, of course you wouldn't.
Yeah, that's good. Glad we cleared that up.
Next game on the list.
Watford-Leicester.
Yeah, this game for me was actually super hard to pick.
Likewise, because, again, Watford is one of those teams I've underestimated quite a few times.
Way too many times. Way too many times.
So what are your thoughts?
And then I've always overestimated Leicester. Way too many times. So going into this game, what I've done is I've underestimated Watford and overestimated Leicester.
So true to form.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's fine.
I've gone straight down my old party lines.
I've done the same. So I don't feel like we've progressed at all.
No, we
haven't evolved.
Literally nothing.
No, we've
from
learned
our
nothing.
Tipping. Nothing at all.
Let me explain my theory, and maybe that will help.
Yeah, go for it.
Don't have an explanation.
I know, that's when you ask me, I'm like, I'm just going to struggle my way through.
So, Everton Swansea. No,
look, no, don't you just get the
every
feeling?
Week.
I was about to say the exact same thing. Don't you have that feeling?
Yes, I do.
It's got to click for Leicester.
Yes, I do.
It's got to click for Leicester.
Let's leave it at that.
Yeah, it's just.
Can we leave it at that?
And why not against Watford?
Rather than dig
the
a
team
deeper
that
hole?
just keeps screwing us over every week and tipping. Why not against them?
Well, here's what I'm going to say. Liverpool beat Watford.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I'm going to say.
That's it.
I wanted to relive that. It was a great game.
That was a great game.
6-1 was fantastic. Put Liverpool on top. I'm trying to avoid talking about this match.
Yeah, I can tell.
Because I just know it's going to be one that I get wrong again.
Yeah, I know. As soon as I tipped it, I'm like, I'm going to get that one wrong, aren't I? No, but I do.
So what's in the news today?
I do really feel like Leicester can figure this out, and this is the kind of game that they did win last season. Yeah. It might not have been pretty, but they won it. I think they can do it again. Even
though it's away, I think they kind of need that a little bit.
Yeah. They need a win on the board. And it's been international break. A bunch of their players don't actually go away for international duty. I mean, a bunch do, but, they should be fresh enough. To be honest,
I think international break is better for them than Champions League weeks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
They should come back fresh and ready to fire. I'm going to tip a win. I'm backing myself in there for no apparent reason.
I'm with you somehow.
Anyway, let's move on to the next picture because I got nothing.
Do you know what? Next, whoever picks the score in that one, so we've both tipped the same thing. If one of us is right, it's double dinner.
It's double dinner?
You have to go out twice within an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am hungry. I could totally do that.
Everton Swansea.
Yeah.
We both tipped a pretty heavy Everton victory. I went OTT with a 3-0.
Yeah.
I just think they're going to want to really come back strong.
I think so as well. But
Lukaku.
From what I've...
Lukaku.
Yeah, well, that's all you need.
Lukaku.
Yeah. Lukaku.
But have you considered Lukaku?
I have to say, after seeing Swansea against United, one of the most dire displays I've seen in vapid is a great word for it. But no organisation, no fight. looked like a team of international journeymen who have got to the Premier League, even though a bunch of them have been playing there for years, and have just gone, sorry, why the hell are we here and what do we do? How do I get out of this? How can I leave?
Which is completely at odds with some of the Swansea performances I saw earlier in the season and even last season.
Yep.
I just don't know what happened.
So what happens when you change the coach?
I think their coach is a good one.
Bob Bradley,
I thought Bradley would actually inspire them to more than this. It's actually gone backwards.
Yeah, it's not good.
But is that just because he hasn't found the rhythm?
Possibly.
Harvey, what do you think?
Good point, Harvey.
Yeah, he makes a very strong case.
Wow.
He makes a strong
case. We should have brought him in for Watford Leicester after that argument.
I actually think in that couple of seconds, he said more poignant things than we have in the entire 11 weeks.
So succinct.
Yeah.
There's something really wrong with the strike force as well at Swansea. They've basically backed themselves in on Llorente and Baston, who... Llorente shouldn't look out of his depth in the Premier League. He could find his feet. Baston doesn't look it. He just doesn't.
I agree. They're obviously lacking some ingredients. They need to go and dip into the transfer market.
Big time.
For sure.
Well, they've got Sigurdsson, who's an amazing player. But other than that, I mean, but is he the only player they have who's Premier League?
Did we not put Sigurdsson on our world-class list?
No, we did not.
Ooh. I feel like he is, right?
I'd say he's right up there. He's certainly consistent enough to be considered.
Well, I'd like to...
We can edit that later.
I quite like Sigurdsson.
I'm a big fan.
The reason I paused there was because I was about to say he's world class. I'm thinking, did I say that in the last one?
He's nearly world class.
Anyway, he's there or thereabouts.
Yeah. But don't you think the rest of that team looks like not just low end Premier League, almost Championship?
Well,
there are players in that
team.
Leroy Fer is a great player,
and that game they played against Chelsea, they showed fight.
Yeah,
I mean,
they did.
Don't get me wrong; it was fortuitous for sure. However, I would venture to offer that since then they haven't showed that amount of fight.
No, and that's a real problem for them. And I think Koeman's going to be smarting after that loss to Everton, and he's going to come out and say, come on, lads, you've all been away for a week, let's get a pummel on.
In reverse, like you've just said, if Swansea's going to come back against someone, this is not who I'd want to meet.
This is not the one I'd want to meet this week.
It's not.
No.
Because they'll be smarting, Koeman will be up them.
Yeah.
He'll say, come on, guys, you've let this slide the last few weeks.
Yeah. Come on, we could have been in the top 4 by now if we'd just buckled down and done this right.
For sure, they'd be top 4. No doubt in my mind if they kept that form going.
Absolutely.
And they slipped against opposition you wouldn't expect. Yeah. Did better against others.
Yeah.
They outperformed in the City game.
I also totally get the Chelsea result. Fair enough. Chelsea look rampant.
Let's put that to one side. Yeah. You kind of got to shelve that one.
Yeah.
I'm half expecting
and a bit of a tactical failure as well, sadly, from Koeman. But and you know what? He tried though. I know he said basically what I said he should do. So hey, I failed as well.
I respect that. More so that he said it, not that you said it.
Fair enough. Yep. He's paid to do it. I'm just some idiot behind a microphone.
I feel good for my 3-0.
Okay.
I feel good for my
I'm down. Hey, I could see Lukaku scoring 2 at least.
Yeah.
So
maybe 3.
Maybe 3. Maybe 8.
Hat-trick Lukaku.
Yeah. I love that boy.
Can we talk about Sunderland? Because we both agreed on a Sunderland victory. That has got to be the first time this season.
Yeah, no, easily.
Yeah, definitely.
It's the first time we haven't both agreed that they'll lose. I've tipped a draw before.
Although, can I just say, they are at the worst odds of any home team to win.
What are they
against
odds?
a team they probably should beat.
Against the only team in the league that I look at and think, no, that should be a banker at home for you.
Yeah. I mean, obviously there are some sides, where it's obvious the away team will win, like a City side. But I mean, of the teams that... because Hull is clearly in free fall, yet their odds are so awful. So they're still at $2.05. Sunderland.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of worth a punt.
I know. Yeah. That's kind of worth it.
That's ridiculous.
Double your money.
Yeah.
Double your money on a punt on Sunderland at home against a capitulating Hull side.
Yeah.
What can we say?
You still have Jake Livermore at centre half.
Yeah, and Snodgrass playing well for a team that's just awful.
Actually, I think they've got Dawson back now, so maybe it's Dawson and Davies.
I think you're right. I think Dawson is back. That's a good centre-back pairing.
Yeah, that's actually a really good old... That's like a...
Suddenly I don't feel so good about my 2-0.
That's a mid-90s English centre-half pairing.
Yeah, it is.
That is old school.
It is. It's a team you could back.
Yeah. No, I still feel good about it. I think Defoe's going to pull a goal out of the bag.
Because he needs to get his
Yadozai's back. So I just think at home, I think... Again, though, as we say this almost every week, if Sunderland can't do it this week against that opposition...
No, but this is legitimate.
Yeah, no,
this is legit.
Yeah.
Hull are the easy beats of the league, unless you are Southampton and they just have a mad 5 minutes where
they just lose their minds.
goes down.
Yeah.
Couldn't say that word, obviously,
Yeah.
but yeah. 2-0. I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, all right. I'm going 1-0. Go the Black Caps.
Not that you would allow me to change it now
No,
anyway.
it's down on the paper. No, I
said that so nonchalant.
I know, I'm backing it in.
I'll keep that.
Yeah,
that as
it's
you're,
mine now.
You're shaking your head going, you
No, of course you
it
can.
anyway.
Yeah, it's yours now.
You're not doing me a favour.
No, I genuinely really hope that Sunderland can win that game. Wouldn't it be great for them to get 2 back-to-back?
Oh, it would be.
It'd be really
nuts.
good. Be great for the league, if nothing else. Anyway, let's move to the next
Would
game.
it make the league quite insane? Make it bunch it up a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
Stoke Bournemouth. We both picked the same score again. 2-1.
I was so sure in my head that you were going to go for the draw.
That's actually really weird because I had the same thought in my head. I'm like, I'll go different because I know he'll draw this one. I just thought you had no cojones. I thought you would just...
No, that's what I thought you were going to do.
Because you're a habitual fence sitter. You don't make the big, bold calls like I do.
Except that we match
You go
the
for
results.
one or draws, lame, where clearly there will be a winner.
So 1 from 10.
That's enough. That's
to
enough.
be fair, no, you've outballsed me this
I have.
week.
So?
It's going to be so bad. We're going to come to tipping next week, and you watch, and the only result that we win against each other, the other team will win.
It'll be exactly. It'll be a Burnley victory, and we're thinking,
oh god damn it!
You know what? We're done. The
We're just
podcast
so bad
is
at
over.
this. Oh dear.
Oh, gosh.
No, I think Stoke have got enough firepower there.
We've already said 100 times, maybe too many, that Bournemouth away from Dean Court are just not the same side.
No, they're not the same team.
Yeah.
Good
And
team
I
still.
find it strange because I really think that Bournemouth side, they don't just seem like a home ground bully. They seem like a team that's better than that. I don't know what it is about. Is it that they just go into their shell? Because they certainly don't play as expansively.
No, definitely not.
They maybe overdo the conservative away vibe. I'm not sure. You can probably explain it better than me.
Yeah, well, no, I think tactically Eddie Howe definitely changes up and tries to tighten them up into a cohesive unit. But when you watch them play at Dean Court, one of the fascinating things about Bournemouth is their movement. Their movement at home's amazing, and you don't really see it away from home.
It's their touch and pass as well.
Yeah, no,
they play very
they're
much
excellent
like
at it.
those top sides where
they're Barca light.
Yeah, touch, pass, move.
Yeah.
And everyone moves. And they're all kind of moving at once. They're very rarely static. Whereas when they start playing this more defensive game when they're away from home, people look a little lost.
Yeah.
That's not what they're comfortable with.
Yeah, exactly. And also you see players very much so stick to their positions. And all of a sudden you look at that team and it just looks a little bit more stagnant, as you just said, and you go, well, I can see why you might struggle. You still got probably a couple of wins in you away from home, but he does need to... Actually, no, you know what? I was about to say he needs to take the handbrake off, but I'm about to completely disagree with that. This is a team that, by all rights, should be part of the relegation fight. So if he wants to go away from home and shut up shop...
Fair call.
Fair call to him,
Look, okay, that's not a bad point. So, I mean, you're due one, for sure. That's probably the one good point you're going to make in the next 20 weeks. Yes. So... Good. Well done, sir.
One for Garfield.
One for Garfield.
That's
a very lonely one there.
Yeah,
very lonely.
One for sup.
But I think looking at Stoke, if you asked me 3 weeks ago, I would have said...
a month ago, we would have been going, the cherries.
I would have said, even though they're away, even though they might be a little more conservative, Stoke can't hit the side of a barn with a banjo, so they are certainly not going to win this game. But now, different looking Stoke.
They're firing.
Where are they now? They
12th?
are... Actually, were they? Was that the one?
I think that might have been the one.
I think you might be right. I'm just going to check because I'm really curious to know.
I hope that they are 12th now, just to put the bullet into you.
Well, I'd be a little disturbed by that.
Arnautovic.
They are 12th.
They are 12th. Back of the net.
They are 12th. So they're sitting in 12th when they were looking like odds on practically last.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for such a diabolical Sunderland side, they would be last in that time. And since then, they've gone on a run.
They have.
They're, Boney's starting to
all of a sudden looks like a footballer
again.
Yeah.
Shaqiri is playing great.
Oh, him, he's so good.
Yeah. Good side. I think Bournemouth, 2-1 is probably the right result.
Yeah. No, I'm hoping so.
By the way, $2.30 for a Stoke win. Not bad.
Oh,
not bad.
Look out.
Not bad.
That's what I like to call easy money.
Easy. Wow. There would be punters all over the country, assuming we have a national following. There would be punters all over the country actually splitting their sides from laughter.
Well, I think that's what we just call in this biz easy money.
Wow.
that I am not going to tip, by the way.
I am going to move so far along from that because that was the single most ridiculous thing.
Hey, I had a good point.
Harvey doesn't agree. He's shaking his head.
What does Harvey know? Actually, no, Harvey's
Harvey
very
knows
poignant.
all.
Yeah, Harvey is
He's
very poignant. Yeah.
We've agreed.
Yeah.
This is a big game. Tottenham West Ham.
That is a big game. A London derby.
You picked quite an interesting result, though. I think 3-1. I mean, Tottenham don't look prolific at the moment.
No, they don't. But I think this is why I went this way.
Defensively, they're clearly solid.
Yes. This is why I went this way. West Ham are still trying to find their feet defensively. I think if there's any time, it's after the international break, that Tottenham have to come back and go, come on, lads, look, we had a bit of a bad run there. We're still undefeated. Let's get out there and get them.
We're undefeated, but we have
all the draws.
6 of them.
Yeah,
more draws than wins.
Yeah, all them draws.
6.
So this is the kind of game that you have to go out there and you go,
you're undefeated. You're undefeated, sure.
Yeah.
But 6 of those games you've not won.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is really bad.
That's what I'm saying. This is the game they have to go out there and go, all right, let's get it up them. Like, let's do this. It's a local derby. We can do it. I mean, Harry Kane's back.
So what, you've got Tottenham, West Ham. Where's Tottenham go? This is really important for them because... Oh, okay, no. So United can't leapfrog them because of goal difference, but I tell you what.
Yeah, well, if they
were to somehow contrive to lose this match, if West Ham pulled out a Payet special,
yeah.
If Payet and Antonio do their double act and somehow salvo this,
Lanzini just waltzes in and yoink.
Tottenham from being contender for the title is suddenly staring at 6th.
Yeah,
staring at and a United side potentially. If the reverse happens and United beat Arsenal and they lose, suddenly the whole thing looks different again.
Yeah, exactly. The whole table shifts.
You know, this is something you got to be really cautious about when you're calling these games. I mean, I think that sort of pressure can do any number of things to Tottenham. I think it'll keep it cagey-ish.
Okay.
Because I think that knowing they can't lose or draw may make them maybe less expansive.
Don't you think, though, after an international break, with Tottenham's high pressing game and in high intensity game, with that West Ham defence that looks shaky at best.
Fine, but Payet can score anywhere at any
Payet
time.
can do anything.
He may not even pick Payet.
That's why I gave them a 1.
So what you actually meant there was Tottenham 2, Payet 1.
That's pretty much what I meant.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, he could play on his own.
Yeah, he really could.
And somehow
he'd just still score.
Like,
what? He'd be in goal and he'd still dribble around the whole team and score a goal.
Crossfield Rabona all the way. All the way.
Freaking Rabona.
And that goal,
that goal?
Beat 9.5 people.
Yeah, ridiculous. The PlayStation goal.
He dribbled past the manager. He went out, dribbled past him too.
The fan base.
The fan base.
Bought a pie, dribbled back onto the field. Yeah.
Like, okay, dude, jeez.
Just
put it in.
We get it. You're very good. You don't have to prove it anymore.
We get it. You want to go to Real Madrid. Ooh, controversial.
Yeah, no.
Controversial.
I
guess my point more, though, is I was really disappointed after seeing that Tottenham game against Arsenal. Arsenal took it to them big time and always looked like the more likely to win. Tottenham just didn't look dangerous because last season, that's what I kind of thought about them.
Yeah, they
got
tore
goals in them.
Yeah.
Whereas this season, they're not looking like they have the meanest defence in the league by quite some margin.
Yeah.
But having only scored 15 goals, they've actually scored half the amount of goals that Liverpool has scored.
Oof.
Half.
Bit unfair to compare it to Liverpool given that they are rampant, but I totally take your point.
Okay, well, they've got 11 goals less than Chelsea, 10 goals less than City, 9 goals less than Arsenal.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
But they're the 4 most rampant attacking teams in the comp.
But this is why they're behind them, I think.
Yeah, no, I
I'm
agree.
saying? I'm saying that this in particular is clearly an issue for them.
Yeah, they need
their finishing is not there at the moment.
Yeah, they need to get Harry Kane back into the game and get him back in ASAP.
That said, I could be sitting here next week very easily and totally getting it when... they've won 4-1, and I'm sitting here thinking, well, that was always possible.
Yeah, totally.
I haven't seen it from them.
Do you think in any reality, because we haven't really touched on this, do you think West Ham can win that game?
No.
Oh, you don't think at all?
Defense is too mean.
See,
not against that Tottenham defense. That's
kind of what I think.
Lloris? Come on.
Yeah, I know.
After De Gea Anyone better?
Unless they were so potent.
No.
So impotent in attack.
Still no. I
that
could see a draw.
just pulled one out.
No,
and just
I
won
could
nil.
see a draw.
Okay.
Because I think they'll get one because West Ham's defence is the problem.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
So I think that even against...
And don't you think that's their problem, and this is Tottenham's chance to put their attack right?
For sure.
If there's a game that I wanted to see on my list at home, I'd be licking my lips thinking, aha, finally some goals.
Eriksen, they're going to find it hard to contain him.
Yeah.
They're going to find it very hard. And because they've got people like Dembele, Sissoko, Son, who looks dangerous.
Yeah. Lamella got to have a break. He didn't go to Argentina.
Correct. So, look, I'm with you. I'm tipping the victory and I feel really confident about the victory.
Cool.
I'm not so confident about my score.
Yeah.
I could very easily be wrong, but I can only see it getting bigger on the Tottenham side.
Fair enough. All right, let's move to the next one.
Well, this is an easy one. I mean, this is the last game. We've spoken about every game.
Cool.
This is Borough Chelsea. I like Borough, and they've improved a lot, but this is not the week to be
Hey, that
even.
game against City?
Yeah.
Mwah.
Yeah.
Beautifully done.
I just think it's a little different. I think City are not in as good a form. They're in patchy form.
Yeah.
And their eyes were so heavily cast towards their poor performance the week prior in the Champions League against Barca that I think some of the poor performances have been because of that. Whereas Chelsea haven't had those distractions. So they just look like they've clicked. They're in gear.
Can I say a really random thing about Chelsea? Because I've been thinking about them a lot and looking at that team and thinking, wow, Conte has done an amazing job here. And I think part of it, in English football, when was the last time we saw any team play for more than a week, more than the just occasional off chance, three at the back?
No,
it must have been
I genuinely can't
seriously
remember.
the turn of the century is honestly where I'm thinking.
Well, no. I'm fairly certain that when Mourinho first took over, they were playing 3-4-3 consistently, and then he changed as he bought Azpilicueta. That was a huge buy for them. And that changed. That I think Azpilicueta.
Do you mean like in 2004 when he joined? Because then he had.
Yeah, because he ended up shifting to a back three, didn't he, with Gallas? Because Gallas was still
always
there.
Played at left back for them, though. Remember?
Yeah, until he came.
Yeah,
I'm pretty certain. I would like us to actually check that out because I don't want to commit to it because you could be right. I have this weird feeling that they were the first 3-4-3, and I was thinking to myself, even back then, how does that work? Yeah. Because I was the doctrine I'd always been fed was always 4-4-2 because up to then that was the game.
Well, who did used to Chelsea from the mid-90s used to play 5-3-2 with like Graham Lasso on the left.
That 100%.
Yeah.
But that was a definite back five.
Yeah, that was a back five as opposed to a back three.
Correct.
That's kind of what I'm getting at here is managers in England in particular look at that formation and just think, what? How do I
get it.
What do I do?
How does it work?
Yeah, how do I get around this exactly?
Because didn't their back three work because he bought Claude Makelele, and that's why they played the back three at the time because he was deep and he was brilliant and he was just the best.
Makelele just dropped deep to make a back three when they were in possession. So he played a 4-3-3 basically with Makelele.
That could explain what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'd say that's what you're thinking. So he played traditionally a 4-3-3 with Makelele sitting very deep with Lampard in front of him with the Portuguese lad whose name I now forget. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And then he'd play Arjen Robben or Cole or Damien Duff with Drogba up front. So that's how he'd kind of work it out. And then he'd have the fullbacks pushing right up. Then Makelele would drop deep to make sure that they could have that kind of defensive stability that he wanted. So you're right. Tactically, he could switch to a kind of a halfway back three. But I don't think he ever started his formation with a back three. Pretty sure it was always a back four.
I've tried to have a quick look while you were talking then to see if there's anyone who notably played a back three, and no one is really coming up.
Yeah, I mean, it's very fashionable in Italy, for example.
Yeah, but we did say Premier League, and this is a Premier League show.
Yeah, this is a Premier League show.
Yeah, okay, look.
I just think managers don't know how to deal with it.
I get the fives. I get playing five at the back.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I can see a lot
Glenn
of teams.
Hoddle famously used to do it. The 98 World Cup with England, he used to play
But even now,
five.
it's been very common recently.
Yeah,
as well.
It's in vogue again, yeah.
Yeah, which has been very weird.
It's a bit retro. Yeah, a bit retro.
I'll tell you who made it famous, though. Wasn't the 3-4-3 formation really made famous by the Dutch national side?
Yeah. And then the 74, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what permeated into kind of all the different leagues and whatever else.
Effectively,
I know Ajax played a 3-4-3.
Well, no, they played this really bizarre formation called a 3-3-1-3.
Yeah, that's
which
true.
was
That's
insane.
true. Yeah.
Like that
but
formation
you know what I'm
was
saying?
lunacy. Yeah.
Yeah, that 3-3-1-3 was nuts.
Yeah, and it was
felt
so
as though
fluid.
they'd have no width.
No,
yet they had
all
plenty.
the width. Yeah.
So I don't know what.
Well, it was just movement. They just played that fluid
They
total
were fit.
football.
They were very fit. They
Yeah.
knew what they were doing, basically.
Absolutely.
And they had the players. So, look, it's a really good point. I think that 3 at the back is an experiment that's working.
Oh, not just working.
But this is the part that I want you to explain. I'm not even that shocked about a back 3 working. That's not what my shock is. My shock is
It's
the 2 of those
three?
back 3 is Cahill and David Luiz.
Yeah, okay.
That's where I get confused.
I know.
So you please explain to me.
I hate to say this, but this is the perfect... If you're ever going to play David Luiz, it's the perfect formation for him. Because in the center of those back 3, I know that you're freaking...
I'm shaking my
You
head.
should see Simon Says' face. He's looking at me like, have you
need
been
to play a
taking
back
stupid,
9.
Have you been playing stupid pills again?
You need to play a back 9 to make him comfortable. And I'm not talking about golf. I mean, you need to play 9 players behind it so he can be comfortable because he'll stuff up every time.
And this was going to be my point. Him in the center of those back 3 allows him to have his Siso Bob moments. But it also allows him the one true great thing about his game as a defender. He can take the ball out of defense, and he's still got 2 center backs there to push in narrow and let him do it. Because when is he at his best? Taking the ball out of defense and picking a pass.
Yeah, fine. I get that. But he's still David Luiz. That means he's still creating a hole at the back.
Yeah.
And the really good teams should be putting that back
A
three
lot
to the
more
sword.
pressure. Yeah, no, a lot more pressure on him. I agree.
Drag them wide.
Yeah, no,
If you were smart, why go up the middle?
Yeah.
Just drag them wide. Hustle them.
I will also say this though, with those 3 at the back, they're one of their great strengths of the defensive unit with those 3 is they're great headers of the ball.
Yeah, that for sure. They've got height, power.
Yeah, so you do run into this problem where you think, hey, you know what, I'll attack them wide. They've got 3 players instead of 2 in there to head the ball away. Now I have to attack you.
I'm not suggesting a crossing game, though.
Right.
I'm suggesting drag them wide and cut it back in for someone who's coming through.
Fair enough.
Because you just know that David Luiz is going to kind of see shiny thing ball and follow it.
Yeah, and just run.
Leave a hole, and then suddenly you've only got 2 left in the middle there, and you've probably got 4 on rushing plays if you're Liverpool, or if you're Tottenham, or if you're Arsenal, or even if you're United. Although United didn't really do that.
No, they didn't do that at all.
But that, to be fair, that was also United at their lowest ebb.
Yeah,
so.
well, cross fingers.
Well, we're going to find out.
Yeah, we are about to find out against Arsenal. So
can't wait to talk about it.
Yeah, no, I'm hoping that I can't wait to talk about it. Although I might not feel that way after the weekend. Anyway, we will find out. Good luck to Middlesbrough anyway against Chelsea. We may as well wrap this podcast up there. I hope that you enjoyed it. That was our preview for the next round. Hey, we're going to do another special podcast this week. We're not even quite sure yet what it's going to be about, but we will work something out.
It'll be special. Harvey will get involved.
Harvey is... so poignant.
So poignant.
Look at him. He's
so
the
regal.
Man. He is. He's a
so
regal man. He's a regal man. Anyway, if you want to get in contact with us about any of that, about our tips, about me saying that there was some easy money to be made out there, please feel free to do so. Just log on to our Facebook page. It's just Studs Up.